Hi, Jason Maneely with jpmaneely here once again, and I'm here to give you a hyper-local market report for the Prescott, Yavapai County area. I'm here with my great friend Damon Cavatori from Fairway Mortgage.
Good morning.
Good morning, no worries. And we will give you a great report that you will completely understand our market. So happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas. We're all coming up here. And I was watching the news the other day and they were talking about how terrible our real estate market is. And I started thinking to myself, I'm like, it's not bad. I just closed a bunch of deals. I keep seeing houses selling. I'm looking at my data. I'm like, we're not bad. So there's the difference between a national market and our local market. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. And I'm going to go in a very specific route. So this morning, and it is the 16th of November, and we had 22 new houses come on the market today. We had 35 houses close. We had 9 houses go pending with contingencies, and then we had another 22 that went just plain pending, no contingencies on there. So that's a deficit of houses coming off the market, right? What you're hearing on the normal media is that the inventory is going way up. Not here in Prescott, not here in Yavapai County. We're continuing to go down. The other thing that you hear is that our values on your houses are going down. Again, not here. That might be happening on a national basis. I don't know. But here, the last 4 months, July, August, September, October, we have seen closing values not adjust within a statistical margin. So we had $283 a square foot in July. We had $284 a square foot in August, $283, and then $281. That is our closings, our average closing cost right now. So if you think about it, we're still very strong. We still have a lot of buyers coming in, and our home values are still very strong. Until the politics change in California, as I've said before, we're going to have good buyers here. All right. So, David, what are you seeing on your side?
Yeah, Jason, thanks again for having me. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so, basically what you said is 100% accurate. Prescott Valley, basically, Chino, the Quad Cities are a destination area, as you know. So over the last few years, we've had an influx of buyers from California, Washington, Oregon, Illinois. I mean, I would say 50 to 60% of the purchases minimum that I've done up here in the last 3 years are from those states. And I'd say heavy in California. So to your point, there's a lot of driving factors. It's different for everybody. But when you have that source of incoming buyers, it really does prop up the real estate market. And I think we'll continue to do that. So yeah, 100%. The media has definitely got it wrong in a lot of markets as well.
So what are you seeing in interest rates?
Yeah, so interest rates actually pulled back. So a lot of people don't know, last week interest rates went down 0.5%.
Yeah, huge drop.
Huge drop. It was the biggest drop, I think, in the last 15 years in one day.
Yeah.
Your mortgage-backed securities really dropped, and that's a great thing. So, rates are, they're elevated, but on a national average, if you go back over the last 25 years, rates are, believe it or not, a little bit lower than the national average of what they've been. So rates, you're somewhere in the mid-sixes, but there's a lot of different ways to adjust that. And that's really what it comes down to, is there's ways to adjust interest rates down, different buying programs. So there's a lot of different things you can do to really bring that down.
So on the lending side, are you doing concessions more often now?
Yeah, so I see a lot more concessions. There's a lot of programs, 2-1 buy downs that are big for clients. Basically pretty quickly what that is all it is the rate's fixed, and you lock it in just like a normal interest rate. But what it does is if you got somebody coming in, instead of the seller paying concessions that I am seeing more of, they're basically paying to drop somebody's interest rate 2% for the first year and 1% for the second.
Right.
So you don't have that payment shock. Right. Because granted, house prices are up there. When you have a little bit higher rates than people have seen in the last 15 years, 10 years, you get a little payment shock. So yeah, and concessions have really come back. I see it on 85% of the loans out there at some point. And it varies. It varies by area. In Phoenix, because I do lending there as well, I see higher concessions. Up here, less, of course, because the demand, I think, frankly, is higher, and the prices have held up.
All right, cool. Any news on the foreclosure front?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So foreclosures, so this is great. So I'm sure you've heard out there, and I know we talked about it this morning, media talks about 150% increase in foreclosures. And I have a lot of clients call me and say, you know what, I'm going to wait until I get a foreclosure. I got to be honest, that 150% number is accurate, but the 150% number is based on the moratorium that happened when they froze everybody's rent. So where renters, landlords could not evict if somebody wasn't paying during the pandemic. So you're looking at a number that's really not based on anything. It's 150% above a government instituted number that wasn't realistic to begin with. If you go back, I just looked at the numbers. There was something like 1.6 million foreclosures in 08. And I think there's like 150, this is across the country, right. 150,000.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's not even in the same sport.
Yeah, exactly.
But the media makes it look like all of a sudden we have this massive foreclosure. I mean, everybody sees it on YouTube.
Yeah.
They want, those guys, that's how they earn a living. They get clicks and views.
They scare you into thinking everything's going down the hill. Right?
And it's just not the case, to be honest with you.
Yeah. All right, well, cool. So there you have it, guys. Like, that is hyper local. I'm not looking at Phoenix. I'm not looking at New York. I'm looking here in Prescott. And this should affect you and your home values and your purchasability. So if you have any questions, give me a call. I can set you up with Damon. We can get you, pre-qualified. He's got great rates. So give me a call. Give Amy a call. As usual, all our numbers and contact information is posted everywhere. So hope all is well. Happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas.
Happy Thanksgiving. Merry Christmas.